The Art of Asking, written and published by Sonic Tome. In a world overflowing with information and rapid communication, the ability to ask the right questions has never been more crucial. This book is your companion on a journey to mastering the art of inquiry, whether for personal growth, professional development, or deeper connections with others. Questions are not merely tools for gathering information. They are the keys to unlocking doors to new opportunities, perspectives, and understanding. The art of asking is about more than curiosity. It's about strategic thinking, empathy, and active engagement with the world around you. The importance of asking questions. Why are questions so important? They are the driving force behind discovery, learning, and growth. From the innocent inquiries of a child to the probing questions of a scientist, asking is how we make sense of the world and our place in it. Questions stimulate critical thinking, foster innovation, and encourage meaningful dialogue. In our daily lives, asking the right questions can help us solve problems, build relationships, and achieve our goals. Consider this. Every major advancement in human history began with a question. What if? Why not? How can we? These simple yet profound queries have led to breakthroughs in science, technology, and society. By cultivating the habit of asking thoughtful questions, you can unlock new pathways to success and fulfillment. The power of inquiry. The power of inquiry lies in its ability to transform both our personal and professional lives. In personal relationships, asking meaningful questions can deepen connections, build trust, and enhance understanding. In the workplace, effective questioning can lead to better decision-making, foster innovation, and drive progress. How asking questions can transform personal and professional life. Personal growth. Asking reflective questions helps us understand ourselves better, identify our values and goals, and navigate life's challenges with greater clarity. Building relationships. Through empathetic questioning, we can connect with others on a deeper level, showing genuine interest in their thoughts and feelings. Professional development. In the business world, asking strategic questions can lead to better solutions, uncover hidden opportunities, and enhance leadership capabilities. Continuous learning. Lifelong learners know that the quest for knowledge is never ending. By continually asking questions, we stay curious and open-minded, always ready to learn something new. Brief anecdotes or quotes about the art of asking. Anecdote. Consider the story of Steve Jobs, who often asked, "What if?" This simple yet powerful question led to revolutionary innovations at Apple, from the Macintosh to the iPhone. Quote, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence." Albert Einstein. Anecdote. A young student once asked Nobel laureate Richard Feynman, "What is the most important thing for a scientist?" Feynman's reply, "The ability to ask questions." This response underscores the pivotal role of inquiry in scientific discovery. Quote, "Judge a man by his questions rather than his answers." Voltaire. Chapter 1. Understanding the importance of asking. Why asking matters. The role of questions in learning and growth. Questions are the foundation of learning and personal growth. They are the tools we use to explore the unknown, challenge assumptions, and gain deeper insights. In education, questions drive the scientific method, stimulate critical thinking, and foster creativity. By asking questions, we engage with material on a deeper level, moving beyond rote memorization to true understanding. In personal development, questions help us reflect on our experiences, identify our strengths and weaknesses, and set meaningful goals. They prompt us to consider different perspectives, evaluate our beliefs, and make informed decisions. The simple act of asking why or how can transform our approach to life, encouraging us to seek continuous improvement and lifelong learning. Examples of how asking can open doors. The power of asking is evident in many success stories across various fields. Professional advancement. Consider the case of a young professional who asked for a mentor in their company. This request not only provided them with valuable guidance and support, but also demonstrated their commitment to growth, leading to new opportunities for advancement. Innovation. The story of Post-it notes is a classic example. A 3M scientist, Spencer Silver, created a weak adhesive, but it was his colleague, Art Fry, who asked, "How can this be useful?" This question led to the creation of Post-it notes, a product that revolutionized office supplies. Networking. Asking insightful questions during networking events can help build meaningful connections. For example, instead of the usual, "What do you do?" asking, "What excites you most about your work?" can lead to deeper, more engaging conversations. Problem solving. During the Apollo 13 mission, engineers on the ground asked, "How can we create a solution with the materials on board?" This question led to the ingenious development of a carbon dioxide filter that saved the astronauts' lives. Overcoming the fear of asking. Common fears and misconceptions about asking. Despite the clear benefits, many people hesitate to ask questions due to various fears and misconceptions. Fear of rejection. People often worry that their questions will be dismissed or that they will be perceived as bothersome. Fear of appearing ignorant. There is a common belief that asking questions might make one appear uninformed or unprepared. Fear of vulnerability. Asking questions can expose a lack of knowledge or understanding, making individuals feel vulnerable. Misconception of self-sufficiency. Some believe that they should figure things out on their own and that asking for help is a sign of weakness. Strategies to build confidence in asking questions. Building the confidence to ask questions involves changing one's mindset and developing practical skills. Reframe your perspective. Understand that asking questions is a sign of strength and curiosity, not weakness. It shows a willingness to learn and engage. Start small. Begin by asking simple questions in low-stakes situations. As you gain confidence, gradually move on to more challenging queries. Prepare in advance. Before important meetings or events, prepare a list of questions you want to ask. This can help you feel more confident and focused. Practice active listening. By actively listening to others, you can ask more relevant and insightful questions, making the process feel more natural and engaging. Embrace a growth mindset. View every question as an opportunity to learn and grow. Embrace the possibility of making mistakes and learning from them. Seek feedback. After asking questions, seek feedback on how they were received. This can help you refine your approach and become more effective over time. Join supportive communities. Engage with groups or forums where asking questions is encouraged and celebrated. This can help normalize the practice and reduce fear. Chapter 2. The Psychology of Asking, the Science Behind Questions. Psychological and cognitive aspects of asking questions. Asking questions is deeply rooted in our cognitive and psychological processes. From a cognitive perspective, questions stimulate our brain to engage in active thinking. When we ask a question, we are essentially prompting our brain to search for information, connect different pieces of knowledge, and generate new insights. This process involves various cognitive functions, including attention, memory, and reasoning. Psychologically, asking questions fulfills our innate need for understanding and control. Questions help us make sense of the world, reduce uncertainty, and navigate complex social interactions. They also play a crucial role in social bonding, as they demonstrate interest in others' thoughts and feelings, fostering trust and rapport. How questions affect. Brain function and communication. Questions have a profound impact on brain function and communication. When we ask questions, several key processes are activated. Activation of the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for higher-order thinking and decision-making, becomes highly active when we ask questions. This area of the brain helps us analyze information, plan responses, and anticipate outcomes. Engagement of the reward system. Asking questions can activate the brain's reward system. When we receive answers, especially to questions that pique our curiosity, our brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and satisfaction. This reward mechanism reinforces our desire to continue asking questions and seeking knowledge. Enhanced memory and retention. Questions can improve memory and retention by creating a more interactive and engaging learning experience. When we ask questions, we are more likely to remember the information we receive because we have actively sought it out, making it more meaningful and memorable. Improved communication. Questions facilitate effective communication by encouraging dialogue and active listening. They help clarify misunderstandings, provide feedback, and promote collaborative problem-solving. By asking questions, we create opportunities for more meaningful and productive interactions. Types of questions: open-ended versus close-ended questions. Understanding the different types of questions is essential for effective communication and inquiry. Open-ended questions. These questions cannot be answered with a simple yes or no. They require elaboration and encourage the respondent to provide more detailed and thoughtful answers. Open-ended questions often begin with words like how, why, what, and describe. Examples include: how did you come to that conclusion? Why do you believe that approach works best? What are your thoughts on the current situation? Close-ended questions. These questions can be answered with a single word or a short phrase, often yes or no. Close-ended questions are useful for obtaining specific information quickly, but may limit the depth of the conversation. Examples include: did you complete the project? Is this your final decision? Do you agree with the proposed plan? Probing, reflective, and rhetorical questions. Different types of questions serve various purposes in communication and inquiry. Probing questions. Probing questions are designed to dig deeper into a topic, encouraging the respondent to provide more detailed information or clarify their thoughts. They often follow up on initial responses to explore underlying reasons or motivations. Examples include: can you elaborate on that point? What factors influenced your decision? How did you feel about the outcome? Reflective questions. Reflective questions encourage introspection and self-assessment. They help individuals consider their experiences, emotions, and actions more deeply, promoting personal growth and understanding. Examples include: what did you learn from this experience? How do you feel about the progress you've made? What would you do differently next time? Rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions are asked to make a point rather than elicit an answer. They are often used in persuasive communication to emphasize a particular viewpoint or to provoke thought. Examples include: isn't it obvious that we need to change our approach? Who wouldn't want to improve their skills? Why should we settle for anything less than excellence? Chapter 3. Asking in different contexts. Personal relationships. How to ask meaningful questions in relationships. In personal relationships, asking meaningful questions can significantly enhance communication and connection. Meaningful questions go beyond superficial topics and delve into emotions, thoughts, and experiences, fostering a deeper understanding and stronger bonds. Show genuine interest. Ask questions that show you are genuinely interested in the other person's feelings and experiences. For example, instead of asking, "How was your day?" you might ask, "What was the highlight of your day?" Use open-ended questions. Encourage detailed responses by asking open-ended questions. This allows your partner to express themselves more fully and share more about their thoughts and feelings. Examples include: what are your hopes and dreams for the future? How do you feel about the changes happening in your life? Follow up. Demonstrate active listening by asking follow-up questions based on their responses. This shows that you are paying attention and are interested in learning more. For instance, If they mention a challenging situation at work, you might ask, what strategies are you considering to handle that challenge? Enhancing empathy and understanding. Through questions. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. Asking the right questions can enhance empathy and deepen your understanding of your partner's perspective. Empathic questions. Ask questions that help you understand the other person's emotions and experiences. Examples include, how did that situation make you feel? What can I do to support you right now? Reflective listening. Reflect back what you hear by rephrasing their words and asking for confirmation. This shows that you are trying to understand their perspective. For example, it sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed with work. Is that right? Non-judgmental questions. Ask questions without implying judgment or criticism. This creates a safe space for open and honest communication. Examples include, can you tell me more about why you made that decision? What are your thoughts on how we can improve our relationship? Professional settings. Asking for feedback, clarification, and negotiation in the workplace. In the workplace, effective questioning can lead to improved performance, clearer communication, and successful negotiations. Feedback. Regularly ask for feedback to understand how you can improve and meet expectations. Examples include, can you provide specific feedback on my recent project? What areas do you think I should focus on for my professional development? Clarification. Ensure you fully understand tasks and expectations by asking clarifying questions. This helps prevent misunderstandings and errors. Examples include, can you clarify the main objectives of this project? What are the key deadlines and deliverables? Negotiation. Use questions to negotiate effectively, whether for a salary increase, project scope, or team roles. Examples include, what factors are considered when determining salary adjustments? How can we adjust the project scope to meet our deadlines without compromising quality? Effective questioning techniques for leadership and teamwork. Leaders and team members can use questions to foster collaboration, innovation, and problem solving. Encouraging participation. Ask questions that invite team members to share their ideas and opinions. Examples include, what are your thoughts on this proposal? How can we improve our current processes? Problem solving. Use questions to guide the team through problem-solving discussions. Examples include, what are the potential challenges we need to address? What solutions have we not yet considered? Building consensus. Facilitate consensus building by asking questions that help align the team's goals and priorities. Examples include, what are our main objectives for this project? How can we ensure everyone's concerns are addressed? Social situations. Navigating social interactions with skillful questioning. In social situations, skillful questioning can help you navigate conversations, build connections, and make others feel valued. Breaking the ice. Use open-ended questions to start conversations and find common ground. Examples include, what brings you to this event? What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Showing interest. Ask follow-up questions to show you are interested in what others have to say. Examples include, that sounds fascinating. Can you tell me more about it? How did you get involved in that field? Engaging in small talk and deep conversations. Balancing small talk and deeper conversations is key to building meaningful relationships in social settings. Small talk. Start with light, easy-to-answer questions to warm up the conversation. Examples include, how has your day been so far? What do you think of the event? Transitioning to deeper topics. Gradually introduce deeper questions as the conversation progresses. Examples include, what are you passionate about? What significant experiences have shaped who you are today? Active listening. Show that you are engaged by nodding, making eye contact, and responding thoughtfully to their answers. Chapter 4. Crafting the perfect question. Elements of a good question. Clarity, relevance, and timing. Crafting the perfect question involves several key elements that ensure it is understood, pertinent, and appropriately timed. Clarity. A good question is clear and easy to understand. Avoid using ambiguous language or complex jargon that might confuse the respondent. Ensure that the question is straightforward and the intent is unambiguous. Example. Instead of asking, "Can you elucidate on the overarching objectives of the recent fiscal initiative?" ask, "What are the main goals of the new budget plan?" Relevance. The question should be relevant to the context and the conversation. It should align with the topic being discussed and be meaningful to the respondent. Example. During a team meeting about project deadlines, a relevant question would be, "What challenges are we facing in meeting the next milestone?" rather than, "What are your plans for the weekend?" Timing. Timing is crucial in questioning. Ask questions at the right moment to maximize their impact. Consider the flow of the conversation and ensure that your question fits naturally within the dialogue. Example. If someone is explaining a complex concept, wait until they finish before asking a question for clarification. Interrupting mid-explanation can disrupt their thought process and lead to incomplete answers. Balancing simplicity and depth. The perfect question strikes a balance between simplicity and depth. It should be simple enough to be easily understood but deep enough to provoke thoughtful responses. Simplicity. Keep questions concise and to the point. Avoid overcomplicating your query with unnecessary details or multiple questions within one. Example. Instead of asking, "What are the various impacts of climate change on global agriculture, and how do these differ across different regions?" simplify it to, "How does climate change affect agriculture?" Depth. While simplicity is important, the question should also encourage deeper thinking and exploration of the topic. Example. After a simple question like, "How does climate change affect agriculture?" you can follow up with a deeper question. What specific changes have farmers had to make to adapt to these effects? Techniques for effective questioning. The art of active listening. Active listening is an essential component of effective questioning. It involves fully concentrating on the speaker, understanding their message, and responding thoughtfully. Pay full attention. Focus completely on the speaker, avoiding distractions and multitasking. Show that you are listening through eye contact, nodding, and verbal acknowledgments like "I see" or "interesting." Reflect and clarify. Reflect back what you have heard to confirm understanding and show empathy. Clarify any ambiguities by asking follow-up questions. Example. You mentioned that the new policy has had a significant impact on your workflow. Can you explain more about how it has changed your daily tasks? Avoid interrupting. Let the speaker finish their thoughts before jumping in with your questions. Interruptions can disrupt the flow of conversation and hinder effective communication. Using body language and tone to enhance questions, nonverbal cues and tone of voice play a significant role in how questions are perceived and answered. Body language. Use open and positive body language to create a welcoming environment for the respondent. Maintain eye contact, nod affirmatively, and avoid crossing your arms or displaying closed-off postures. Example. Leaning slightly forward when asking a question can signal engagement and interest. Tone of voice. Your tone of voice should match the intent of your question. A warm and friendly tone can make the respondent feel more comfortable and open to sharing. Example. If you are asking a sensitive question, use a gentle and empathetic tone to convey understanding and care. Putting it all together. Crafting the perfect question requires a combination of clear language, relevance, and appropriate timing, balanced with simplicity and depth. Effective questioning also relies on active listening and the use of positive body language and tone. By mastering these elements, you can enhance your communication skills and foster more meaningful and productive interactions. Practical examples. In personal relationships. Simple and deep. What are your favorite memories from childhood? This question is simple but encourages deep reflection and sharing. Follow up with depth. How have those experiences shaped who you are today? In professional settings, clear and relevant. Can you explain the main objectives of our current project? This is straightforward and pertinent to the work context. Clarifying. Follow up. What are the key challenges we need to address to achieve these objectives? In social situations. Icebreaker. What do you enjoy most about your job? This is simple and relevant, encouraging the other person to share their interests. Deepening the conversation. How did you decide to pursue this career path? Chapter 5. The Art of Active Listening. What is active listening? Definition and components of active listening. Active listening is a communication technique that involves fully engaging with the speaker, understanding their message, and responding thoughtfully. Unlike passive listening, where the listener may hear the words but not fully process or engage with the message, active listening requires intentional effort and concentration. The key components of active listening include paying attention, giving the speaker your undivided attention and acknowledging their message, showing that you're listening, using body language and gestures to convey your engagement, such as nodding, maintaining eye contact, and leaning forward. Providing feedback, reflecting back what you have heard, asking clarifying questions, and summarizing key points to ensure understanding. Deferring judgment, avoiding interrupting or making judgments while the speaker is sharing their thoughts. Responding appropriately, providing relevant responses that show you have understood the speaker's message and are considering it thoughtfully. The role of listening in effective questioning. Effective questioning and active listening are intertwined. Asking meaningful questions requires understanding the context and content of what the speaker is saying, which can only be achieved through active listening. When you listen actively, you can ask more relevant and insightful questions, facilitating deeper and more productive conversations. Additionally, active listening builds trust, demonstrates respect and empathy, encouraging the speaker to open up and share more. Enhances understanding, helps you grasp the full scope of the speaker's message, leading to more informed and pertinent questions. Fosters connection, creates a sense of rapport and mutual respect, making the conversation more engaging and effective. Improving your listening skills. Practical exercises and tips. Mindfulness practice. Engage in mindfulness exercises to enhance your concentration and presence. Practicing mindfulness meditation can help you become more aware of your thoughts and improve your ability to focus on the speaker. Paraphrasing. Regularly practice paraphrasing the speaker's message in your own words. This helps confirm your understanding and shows the speaker that you are paying attention. Example. If the speaker says, "I'm struggling with meeting deadlines," you might respond, "It sounds like you're finding it challenging to keep up with your tasks. Is that right?" Summarizing. At the end of the conversation or at key points, summarize the main ideas shared by the speaker. This ensures clarity and reinforces your understanding. Example. So, to summarize, you're concerned about the new project timeline and need more resources to meet the deadlines. Asking open-ended questions. Use open-ended questions to encourage the speaker to elaborate and provide more information. Example. Can you tell me more about your experience with the new software? Eliminating distractions. Minimize external and internal distractions that can interfere with your ability to listen actively. Turn off notifications. Choose a quiet environment, and mentally prepare to focus solely on the conversation. Reflective listening. Reflect the speaker's emotions and content. This involves recognizing and acknowledging their feelings. Example. You seem really passionate about this project. What drives your enthusiasm? Common barriers to active listening and how to overcome them. Internal distractions. Thoughts, emotions, or preconceived notions that divert your attention. Overcome by practicing mindfulness and staying present in the moment. If your mind starts to wander, Gently bring your focus back to the speaker. External distractions. Environmental factors such as noise, interruptions, or multitasking. Overcome by creating a conducive listening environment. Find a quiet place, turn off distractions, and dedicate time specifically for the conversation. Judgment and bias. Forming opinions or judgments before fully understanding the speaker's message. Overcome by adopting a non-judgmental attitude. Focus on understanding the speaker's perspective without letting your own biases interfere. Interrupting. Cutting off the speaker before they have finished their thought. Overcome by practicing patience and restraint. Allow the speaker to complete their message before responding or asking questions. Lack of empathy. Failing to recognize or acknowledge the speaker's emotions. Overcome by cultivating empathy through active listening and reflective responses. Acknowledge the speaker's feelings and show that you understand their emotional state. Putting it all together. Active listening is an essential skill that enhances your ability to ask effective questions and engage in meaningful conversations. By understanding the components of active listening, practicing practical exercises, and overcoming common barriers, you can improve your listening skills and foster stronger connections in both personal and professional contexts. Practical examples. In personal relationships. Mindfulness. Before a deep conversation with a partner, take a few moments to clear your mind and focus on being present. Paraphrasing. If your partner shares a concern, paraphrase their message to confirm understanding. So, you're feeling stressed about the upcoming family gathering because of past conflicts. Is that correct? In professional settings. Summarizing. After a team meeting, summarize the key points discussed to ensure everyone is on the same page. To summarize, we agreed to prioritize the marketing campaign and allocate additional resources to the development team. Asking open-ended questions. Encourage team members to share their ideas by asking open-ended questions. What are your thoughts on the proposed strategy, and how do you think we can improve it? In social situations, eliminating distractions. During a social event, put away your phone and focus on the person you are conversing with to show genuine interest. Reflective listening. If a friend shares a personal story, reflect their emotions and content to show empathy. It sounds like you had a really challenging week, but you handled it with great resilience. Chapter 6. Asking for what you want. Setting clear intentions. Defining your goals. Before you ask for what you want, it's crucial to define your goals clearly. This clarity ensures that your request is specific, relevant, and achievable. Defining your goals involves several steps. Identify your needs. Reflect on what you genuinely need or want. Whether it's a raise, a favor, or support, being clear about your needs helps you articulate them better. Example. Instead of vaguely wanting a better work-life balance, specify that you need flexible working hours to manage personal responsibilities effectively. Prioritize your goals. Determine which goals are most important and urgent. This prioritization helps you focus your efforts and make more strategic requests. Example. If you're asking for both a raise and a new project assignment, decide which is more critical to your career growth at the moment. Be specific. Define your goals in specific terms to avoid ambiguity. Specific goals make it easier for others to understand and respond to your requests. Example. Instead of asking for more responsibility, request to lead a specific project or initiative. Visualize the outcome. Envision the desired outcome of your request. This visualization helps you communicate your goals more effectively and persuasively. Example. Picture how flexible hours would positively impact your productivity and work satisfaction. Aligning your questions with your objectives. Once you have clear goals, align your questions to support these objectives. Tailoring your questions ensures that they are purposeful and directed towards achieving your desired outcome. Direct questions. Ask direct questions that explicitly state your request. Direct questions leave little room for misunderstanding and make your intentions clear. Example: can we discuss the possibility of me taking on a leadership role in the upcoming project? Supportive questions. Use questions that support your request by providing context or highlighting your qualifications. These questions build a strong case for your ask. Example: given my recent successes in similar projects, how do you see my skills benefiting the new initiative? Clarifying questions. If your goals involve negotiation or collaboration, ask clarifying questions to understand the other party's needs and constraints. This understanding helps you tailor your request to be more mutually beneficial. Example: what are the key challenges the team is facing with this project, and how can my involvement help address them? Open-ended questions. Encourage dialogue and explore possibilities by asking open-ended questions. These questions can uncover opportunities and alternatives that align with your goals. Example: what other projects or roles are available that align with my skills and career aspirations? Negotiation and persuasion techniques for effective negotiation. Negotiation is a critical skill when asking for what you want, whether in professional or personal contexts. Effective negotiation techniques include preparation. Research and gather information relevant to your request. Understanding the context and having data to support your ask strengthens your position. Example: before asking for a raise, research industry salary standards and your company's financial health. Building rapport. Establish a positive relationship with the other party. Building rapport creates a collaborative atmosphere and increases the likelihood of a favorable outcome. Example: start the conversation with a genuine compliment or shared interest to build a connection. Finding common ground. Identify areas of mutual interest and emphasize how your request benefits both parties. Highlighting common goals fosters cooperation. Example: by taking on this new project, I can help the team achieve its objectives while also advancing my career. Flexibility. Be open to alternative solutions and compromises. Flexibility demonstrates your willingness to collaborate and find a mutually beneficial outcome. Example: if a raise isn't possible right now, could we discuss other forms of recognition, such as additional vacation days or professional development opportunities? Assertiveness. Communicate your needs confidently and respectfully. Assertiveness ensures that your request is taken seriously without coming across as aggressive. Example: I believe my contributions have added significant value to the team, and I'd like to discuss a compensation adjustment to reflect that. The role of questions in persuasive communication. Questions play a vital role in persuasive communication by engaging the other party, uncovering needs, and guiding the conversation towards your desired outcome. Eliciting information. Use questions to gather information about the other party's needs, preferences, and constraints. This information helps tailor your request to be more appealing. Example: what are your top priorities for the upcoming quarter, and how can I contribute to achieving them? Building agreement. Ask questions that lead the other party to agree with your perspective gradually. This technique, known as the yes ladder, builds momentum towards a positive outcome. Example: do you agree that our team has made significant progress this year? Would you say my contributions have been valuable in achieving this progress? Addressing concerns. Anticipate potential objections and address them through questions. This proactive approach shows that you are considering the other party's perspective. Example: I understand budget constraints are a concern. What are some cost-effective ways we can implement this change? Creating a vision. Ask questions that help the other party visualize the positive impact of your request. Creating a compelling vision makes your ask more persuasive. Example: how do you see the team's productivity improving if we implement flexible working hours? Encouraging collaboration. Use questions to foster a sense of partnership and collaboration. This approach makes the other party feel involved and invested in the solution. Example: What are your thoughts on my proposal and how can we refine it to better meet our goals? Putting it all together. By setting clear intentions, aligning your questions with your objectives, and employing effective negotiation and persuasion techniques, you can ask for what you want with confidence and success. Questions are powerful tools in this process, helping you gather information, build agreement, address concerns, and create a compelling vision for your request. Practical examples. In personal relationships, setting clear intentions. Define your goal to spend more quality time together. Can we plan a weekly date night to ensure we have dedicated time for each other? Negotiation. Find common ground. What activities do we both enjoy that we can incorporate into our date nights? In professional settings, aligning questions with objectives. Clearly state your career development goals. I'm interested in taking on more leadership roles. What opportunities are available for me to demonstrate my capabilities? Persuasive communication. Elicit information to support your case. What skills and qualities do you believe are essential for the upcoming project lead position? In social situations, setting clear intentions. Define your goal to organize a community event. I'm passionate about hosting a neighborhood cleanup day. Would you be interested in helping plan and promote it? Collaboration. Encourage involvement. What ideas do you have to make the cleanup day more engaging and successful? Chapter 7. Common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Miscommunication and misunderstanding. How poorly framed questions can lead to confusion. Miscommunication and misunderstanding often arise from poorly framed questions. When questions are ambiguous, vague, or poorly timed, they can lead to confusion and hinder effective communication. Understanding these pitfalls and learning how to avoid them is crucial for clear and productive interactions. Ambiguous questions. Questions that lack clarity or are open to multiple interpretations can confuse the respondent. Example: "Can you tell me about the project?" is too vague. It doesn't specify which aspect of the project or what specific information is being sought. Overly complex questions. Complicated questions with multiple parts can overwhelm the respondent and result in incomplete or unclear answers. Example: "Can you explain the project's objectives, the expected outcomes, and the timeline, and how we are going to measure success?" is too complex. Break it down into separate, simpler questions. Poor timing. Asking questions at inappropriate times can disrupt the flow of conversation and lead to ineffective communication. Example: asking a detailed question in the middle of a fast-paced discussion can derail the conversation. Leading questions. Questions that suggest a particular answer can bias the respondent and limit the authenticity of their response. Example: "Don't you think this project's timeline is unrealistic?" This question leads the respondent towards a negative answer. Lack of context. Questions that lack necessary context can be confusing and difficult to answer accurately. Example: "What do you think about it?" Without context, the respondent doesn't know what "it" refers to. Strategies to avoid common mistakes. Be clear and specific. Ensure your questions are clear, concise, and specific. Use simple language and avoid jargon. Improvement. Instead of, "Can you tell me about the project?" ask, "Can you explain the project's main objectives and the current progress?" Break down complex questions. Divide complex questions into simpler, single-part questions to avoid overwhelming the respondent. Improvement. Instead of asking multiple questions at once, ask, "What are the project's main objectives?" Follow up with, "What is the expected timeline?" and then, "How will success be measured?" Choose the right time. Consider the timing of your question. Ensure that the context and environment are appropriate for the type of question you're asking. Improvement. During a team meeting, wait until after the main discussion to ask detailed questions about specific aspects of the project. Avoid leading questions. Frame your questions in a neutral manner to encourage unbiased and honest responses. Improvement. Instead of, "Don't you think this project's timeline is unrealistic?" Ask, "What are your thoughts on the project's timeline?" Provide context. Give enough context for your questions to make sense. This helps the respondent understand exactly what you are asking about. Improvement. Instead of, "What do you think about it?" ask, "What do you think about the proposed marketing strategy for the new product launch?" Dealing with rejection, handling refusals, and negative responses. Rejection is a natural part of asking for what you want. Learning to handle refusals and negative responses constructively is essential for personal and professional growth. Stay calm and composed. It's important to remain calm and composed when faced with rejection. Emotional reactions can escalate the situation and damage relationships. Example, if your request for a raise is denied, take a deep breath and respond calmly. "Thank you for considering my request. Can we discuss what steps I can take to be eligible for a raise in the future?" Seek to understand. Try to understand the reasons behind the refusal. This can provide valuable insights and help you improve future requests. Example, ask, "Can you help me understand the reasons for this decision?" This shows that you are open to feedback and willing to learn. Express gratitude. Thank the person for their time and consideration, even if the outcome wasn't what you hoped for. This leaves the door open for future interactions. Example, "I appreciate you taking the time to discuss this with me. Thank you for your feedback." Stay positive. Maintain a positive attitude and view rejection as a learning opportunity. Reflect on what you can do differently next time. Example, instead of feeling discouraged, think, "What can I learn from this experience to improve my approach in the future?" Reframe the rejection. Sometimes a rejection can be reframed as an opportunity. Look for alternative solutions or compromises that could still meet your needs. Example, if a request for a new project is denied, ask, "Are there other projects or roles where I can contribute my skills effectively?" Learning from unsuccessful attempts. Reflect on feedback. After a rejection, reflect on any feedback you received. Use this information to refine your approach and make more effective requests in the future. Example, if you were told that your proposal lacked sufficient data, ensure that future proposals are backed by thorough research and data. Analyze your approach. Critically analyze how you made your request. Consider aspects such as clarity, timing, and relevance. Identify areas for improvement. Example, if your request was declined because it was poorly timed, plan to ask next time when the context is more favorable. Practice resilience. Build resilience by understanding that rejection is a part of growth. Develop strategies to cope with setbacks and maintain your motivation. Example, create a plan for how you will handle rejection and keep pursuing your goals despite setbacks. Seek mentorship. If you experience repeated rejections, seek mentorship or advice from someone experienced. They can provide guidance on improving your approach. Example, ask a trusted mentor for feedback on your request strategy and how you can strengthen it. Set new goals. Use the experience of rejection to set new, achievable goals. Focus on continuous improvement and learning. Example, after a rejected proposal, set a goal to develop a more comprehensive plan and seek feedback before presenting it again. Putting it all together. Miscommunication and misunderstanding, as well as rejection, are common pitfalls when asking for what you want. By understanding how poorly framed questions can lead to confusion and learning strategies to avoid common mistakes, you can enhance your communication skills. Additionally, by handling rejection constructively and learning from unsuccessful attempts, you can build resilience and continue to pursue your goals effectively. Practical examples. In personal relationships, avoiding miscommunication, be clear and specific in your requests. Instead of saying, "We need to spend more time together," specify, Can we plan a weekly date night? Handling rejection. If your partner is unable to commit to weekly dates, stay calm and seek to understand. I understand it's challenging right now. Can we find another way to spend quality time together? In professional settings, avoiding miscommunication. Provide context and clarity in your questions. Instead of asking, "Can I get more responsibility?" ask, "Can I take the lead on the new project?" Handling rejection. If your request for more responsibility is denied, respond with gratitude and seek feedback. Thank you for considering my request. Can you advise on what I need to improve to take on more responsibility in the future? In social situations, avoiding miscommunication. Frame your questions clearly and avoid leading questions. Instead of asking, "Don't you think we should have a neighborhood watch?" ask, "What are your thoughts on starting a neighborhood watch program?" Handling rejection. If the idea is rejected, stay positive and look for alternative solutions. I understand it's not the right time. Are there other community initiatives we can work on together? Chapter 8. The Power of Silence. The role of silence in asking. How silence can enhance the impact of your questions. Silence is a powerful tool in communication, particularly in the art of asking questions. It can create space for deeper reflection, encourage openness, and emphasize the importance of the question being asked. Here's how silence can enhance the impact of your questions. Creating space for thought. After asking a question, silence gives the respondent time to think and formulate a more thoughtful and considered response. This often leads to richer and more meaningful answers. Example: when you ask, "What are your long-term career goals?" allowing silence to follow gives the person time to reflect and provide a comprehensive answer. Emphasizing importance. Pausing after a question can signal to the respondent that the question is important and deserves careful consideration. It highlights the significance of the inquiry. Example: asking, "How do you feel about the recent changes in the company?" and then remaining silent can emphasize the importance of their feelings and encourage them to open up. Encouraging openness. Silence can make the respondent feel more comfortable to share, knowing they are not being rushed. It creates a safe space for more personal or detailed responses. Example: in a one-on-one conversation, asking, "Can you tell me more about that experience?" and then waiting silently can encourage the person to elaborate further. Demonstrating active listening. Using silence shows that you are actively listening and valuing the respondent's thoughts. It indicates that you are not just waiting for your turn to speak, but genuinely interested in their response. Example: after asking, "What do you think we should do next?" and staying silent, you show that you are attentively waiting for their input. Techniques for using silence. Effectively pausing before responding. After asking a question, consciously pause and count to 3 in your head before saying anything else. This technique helps prevent you from filling the silence prematurely and gives the respondent time to answer. Example: ask, "What are your thoughts on the new policy?" and silently count to 3, maintaining a neutral and patient demeanor. Nonverbal encouragement. Use nonverbal cues like nodding, maintaining eye contact, and leaning slightly forward to show you are engaged and waiting for their response. These cues encourage the respondent to continue speaking. Example: when the respondent is thinking, nod occasionally and maintain eye contact to show you are attentive and interested in what they are about to say. Using reflective listening. Reflect back what the respondent has said before moving on to your next question. This can create natural pauses and give both parties time to think. Example: you mentioned that you're feeling overwhelmed. Can you tell me more about what's been particularly challenging? After they respond, reflect. It sounds like the increased workload is a major factor. Practicing patience. Cultivate patience and resist the urge to fill silence with your own words. Trust that the respondent will speak when they are ready. Example. In a meeting, if you ask, "What strategies do you propose for this issue?" and no one answers immediately, wait patiently without interjecting. Balancing questions and silence. Knowing when to ask and when to listen. Effective communication requires a balance between asking questions and allowing silence. Understanding when to speak and when to remain silent is key to fostering meaningful conversations. Assessing the context. Consider the context of the conversation and the relationship dynamics. In some situations, more silence may be appropriate, while in others, more questions may be needed to guide the conversation. Example. In a mentoring session, more silence might allow the mentee to think deeply and share their thoughts. In a team meeting, more questions might be needed to facilitate discussion and idea generation. Listening for cues. Pay attention to verbal and nonverbal cues from the respondent to gauge when to ask follow-up questions and when to remain silent. Cues like hesitation, thoughtful pauses, or incomplete answers can indicate when silence might be more effective. Example. If someone hesitates or looks thoughtful after a question, remain silent to give them more time. If they seem uncertain, ask a follow-up question to guide them. Encouraging reflection. Use silence to encourage the respondent to reflect on their thoughts and feelings. This can lead to deeper insights and more meaningful conversations. Example. In a personal conversation, ask, "How did that experience make you feel?" And then remain silent to allow the person to reflect and share their feelings. Using silence to transition. Silence can be an effective way to transition between topics or questions, giving both parties a moment to process the conversation so far. Example. After discussing one aspect of a project, use a brief silence before moving on to the next topic, allowing everyone to absorb and reflect on the discussion. Balancing silence with engagement. While silence is powerful, it should be balanced with engagement. Too much silence can make the conversation awkward or unproductive, so use it judiciously. Example. In a job interview, after asking a question, allow silence for a thoughtful response. But if the silence becomes too prolonged, offer a follow-up question to keep the conversation flowing. Putting it all together. Mastering the use of silence in communication enhances your ability to ask impactful questions and fosters more meaningful interactions. By understanding the role of silence, practicing techniques for using it effectively, and balancing it with engagement, you can improve your communication skills in personal and professional contexts. Practical examples. In personal relationships, enhancing impact. When discussing important topics with a partner, ask a meaningful question like, "What are your hopes for our future together?" and allow silence for them to reflect and respond. Balancing silence. During a conversation about a difficult subject, use silence to show empathy and understanding, but follow up with supportive questions to keep the dialogue open. In professional settings, effective techniques. In a team meeting, ask, "What are your thoughts on the new strategy?" and use nonverbal encouragement to maintain silence, giving team members time to think and share their ideas. Balancing engagement. When negotiating a contract, after presenting your proposal, remain silent to let the other party consider it. If the silence becomes too long, ask a clarifying question to keep the negotiation moving. In social situations, encouraging openness. At a social gathering, ask a new acquaintance, "What are you passionate about?" and allow silence to let them share more deeply. Balancing conversation. During a group discussion, use brief silences to transition between topics, allowing everyone to process the conversation and engage more thoughtfully. Chapter 9. Inspiring examples. Stories of successful asking. Real-life examples of people who achieved success through asking. In this chapter, we explore inspiring stories of individuals who have achieved remarkable success by mastering the art of asking. These stories illustrate how strategic questioning, effective communication, and persistence can lead to transformative outcomes in personal and professional settings. Case study: negotiating a promotion background. Sarah, a marketing manager at a mid-sized firm, was eager to advance her career, but felt unsure about how to approach her boss for a promotion. Story: Sarah decided to research her contributions thoroughly, including successful campaign launches and client satisfaction metrics. Armed with this data, she scheduled a meeting with her boss and confidently presented her case for a promotion. She outlined her achievements, demonstrated her readiness for increased responsibility, and proposed specific goals for the future. Outcome: impressed by Sarah's thorough preparation and clear presentation, her boss not only approved her promotion, but also assigned her to lead a high-profile project. Sarah's strategic approach to asking not only secured her career advancement, but also positioned her as a valuable leader within the company. Interview: overcoming challenges through effective questioning. Background: James, a startup founder, faced significant challenges securing funding for his innovative tech startup. He realized that traditional pitching methods weren't yielding results, so he decided to change his approach. Story: James began seeking advice from successful entrepreneurs and investors. Through networking events and one-on-one meetings, he asked insightful questions about what investors look for in startups, how they evaluate potential investments, and what he could do to improve his pitch. Outcome: armed with newfound knowledge and a refined pitch, James successfully secured funding from a venture capital firm that shared his vision. His ability to ask targeted questions not only improved his pitch, but also strengthened relationships with potential investors, leading to financial backing for his startup. Lessons learned: key takeaways from inspirational stories. From these examples and others like them, several key takeaways emerge that highlight the power of asking and effective communication. Preparation is key. Successful askers invest time in preparing their case thoroughly. Whether it's gathering data, researching the audience, or anticipating objections, preparation builds confidence and credibility. Clarity and specificity matter. Clear, specific requests are more likely to yield positive outcomes. Successful askers articulate their needs or goals clearly, making it easier for others to understand and respond. Building relationships. Asking isn't just about making requests, it's also about building relationships. Successful askers cultivate relationships built on trust, respect, and mutual benefit, which enhances their ability to ask effectively. Persistence pays off. Many successful askers face initial setbacks or rejections, but persevere with resilience. They learn from each experience, adjust their approach as needed, and continue to pursue their goals. Listening is as important as asking. Effective communication involves active listening. Successful askers listen attentively to responses, ask follow-up questions, and adapt their approach based on feedback. Putting it all together. The stories of Sarah, James, and others demonstrate that mastering the art of asking is a skill that can be learned and refined over time. By studying these examples, reflecting on their strategies, and applying key takeaways, readers can enhance their own ability to ask for what they want effectively. Practical applications. In personal development, learn from Sarah's approach. Before asking for a promotion or raise, prepare a compelling case outlining your achievements and future goals. In entrepreneurship, follow James's example. When pitching investors, ask insightful questions to understand their priorities and tailor your pitch accordingly. In everyday interactions, apply key takeaways. Whether negotiating contracts, seeking opportunities, or navigating personal relationships, apply lessons learned to communicate more effectively and achieve desired outcomes. Chapter 10. Practicing the Art of Asking Daily Exercises. Practical exercises to improve your questioning skills. This chapter focuses on practical exercises designed to enhance your ability to ask meaningful questions in various contexts. By engaging in these exercises regularly, you can develop confidence, improve communication skills, and foster deeper connections through the art of asking. Exercise 1. Reflective questioning. Objective. Practice asking open-ended questions that encourage reflection and deeper exploration of thoughts and feelings. Example: journal about a recent challenging experience and list 3 open-ended questions you could ask yourself or others to gain deeper insights into the situation. Exercise 2. Role-playing scenarios. Objective. Simulate real-life scenarios where effective questioning is crucial, such as job interviews, negotiations, or personal conversations. Example: pair up with a friend or colleague and take turns role-playing a job interview. Practice asking relevant questions that showcase your interest and suitability for the role. Exercise 3. Active listening practice. Objective. Enhance your active listening skills by focusing on listening more than speaking during interactions. Example: engage in a conversation with someone without asking any questions directly. Instead, focus on listening attentively and responding with reflective statements to encourage further dialogue. Exercise 4. Question Design Workshop. Objective. Improve your ability to craft clear and impactful questions by analyzing and refining your questioning techniques. Example: choose a topic of interest and brainstorm a list of questions. Evaluate each question based on its clarity, relevance, and potential to elicit meaningful responses. Revise and refine your questions accordingly. Journaling prompts and reflection. Using journaling to deepen your learning. Journaling prompts encourage self-reflection and deeper exploration of your questioning skills. By regularly journaling about your experiences, insights, and challenges in asking questions, you can gain valuable self-awareness and refine your communication approach. Prompt 1. Reflect on a recent conversation. Example: describe a recent conversation where you felt your questioning was effective. What specific questions did you ask, and how did they contribute to the flow of the conversation? Prompt 2. Identify areas for improvement. Example: think about a situation where you struggled to ask the right questions. What obstacles did you encounter, and how could you approach similar situations differently in the future? Prompt 3. Goals for questioning skills. Example: set specific goals for improving your questioning skills over the next month. What steps will you take to achieve these goals, and how will you measure your progress? Continuous improvement. Developing a habit of asking questions. Continuous improvement is essential for mastering the art of asking. By making questioning a habitual part of your daily interactions and seeking opportunities to practice and refine your skills, you can steadily enhance your effectiveness in communication and decision-making. Integration into daily routine. Example: incorporate questioning exercises into your daily routine, such as asking yourself reflective questions during your morning commute, or practicing active listening techniques in meetings. Feedback and reflection. Example: seek feedback from peers, mentors, or trusted individuals on your questioning techniques. Reflect on their insights and use them to refine your approach. Learning from mistakes. Example: embrace setbacks as learning opportunities. Analyze instances where your questions didn't yield desired outcomes, and identify areas for improvement in your approach. Resources for further learning tools and references to expand your knowledge. To further develop your questioning skills, explore additional resources that offer insights, techniques, and practical advice on effective communication and the art of asking. Books and articles. Example: read books such as The Coaching Habit by Michael Bungay Stanier, or articles on effective questioning techniques in leadership and personal development. Online courses. Example: enroll in online courses on platforms like Coursera or LinkedIn Learning that focus on communication skills, active listening, and effective questioning strategies. Workshops and seminars. Example: Attend workshops or seminars conducted by communication experts or professional associations that offer hands-on training and networking opportunities. Peer learning and discussion groups. Example: join discussion groups or forums where members share experiences, challenges, and best practices related to questioning and communication skills. Putting it all together. By engaging in daily exercises, journaling for reflection, committing to continuous improvement, and exploring additional resources, you can strengthen your ability to ask meaningful questions and navigate diverse situations with confidence and effectiveness. The art of asking is a lifelong skill that, when honed and practiced, can lead to enhanced communication, deeper relationships, and greater success in achieving your personal and professional goals. Practical applications. In personal growth, daily practice. Integrate daily questioning exercises into your self-development routine to foster deeper self-awareness and insight. In professional development, role-playing. Use role-playing scenarios to prepare for important meetings, presentations, or negotiations where effective questioning is critical. In everyday interactions, feedback loop. Seek feedback from colleagues or mentors on your questioning techniques and apply their insights to refine your approach. Conclusion. We have explored the transformative power of questions and how mastering the skill of asking can enrich both personal and professional aspects of your life. Here's a recap of the main ideas and techniques covered. Understanding the importance of asking. We delved into why asking matters, how it fuels learning and growth, and examples of how asking opens doors in various contexts. Psychology of asking. We explored the psychological and cognitive aspects of questions, understanding how different types of questions influence communication and decision-making. Asking in different contexts, from personal relationships to professional settings and social interactions, we discussed effective strategies for asking meaningful questions that enhance empathy, foster collaboration, and deepen connections. Crafting the perfect question. We examined the elements of a good question, techniques for effective questioning, and the role of active listening in enhancing the impact of your inquiries. The art of active listening. We defined active listening, explored its components, and discussed practical exercises to improve listening skills, essential for effective questioning. Asking for what you want. We emphasized the importance of setting clear intentions, aligning questions with objectives, and mastering negotiation and persuasion through strategic questioning. Common pitfalls and how to avoid them. We highlighted the pitfalls of miscommunication and rejection, offering strategies to overcome these challenges and learn from unsuccessful attempts. The power of silence. We explored how silence can enhance the impact of questions, techniques for using silence effectively, and the importance of balancing questions with attentive listening. Inspiring examples. We shared stories of individuals who achieved success through strategic questioning, offering insights and lessons learned from their experiences. Practicing the art of asking. We provided practical exercises, journaling prompts, and resources for continuous improvement in questioning skills, encouraging readers to integrate these practices into their daily lives. As you conclude this journey into the art of asking, remember that asking questions is not just a skill, but a mindset that can profoundly impact your interactions and outcomes. Each interaction, whether personal or professional, presents an opportunity to ask thoughtful questions that lead to deeper understanding, meaningful connections, and positive change. By embracing curiosity, practicing empathy, and honing your questioning skills, you empower yourself to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and forge stronger relationships. The ability to ask insightful questions is a powerful tool that can empower you to lead, innovate, and inspire others. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the art of asking. May your questions be thoughtful, your listening attentive, and your path forward filled with meaningful connections and achievements.